At 1421 Ridgely Street in the infamous South Baltimore Brewery District, you will find Checker Spot Brewery. Located within walking distance from M&T Bank Stadium and the legendary Camden Yards, Checker Spot is the place for pre- and post-game party. Sporting a fun bar-style menu and their own signature Baltimore brews, live events, and nightly fun, come grab your spot and don't miss out. Checker Spot Brewery, it's the spot.
Who I was, oh, half the things I have done. Right hit my head so many times, I could be anyone.
Okay, welcome Baltimore, another episode of Sanity Lounge. We have the lovely Mariah Bonner in the studio today. She just did 4 wonderful songs, some of which I will admit that I did not understand the words, but I still understand the meaning of the song. And based on your performance of the song, you can really get involved in the story, whether you understand the lyrics or not, because you sang one song in French and one song in Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she is an actress. She is a writer, producer, cabaret singer,
world traveler. She is from Baltimore, but currently resides in Argentina.
That's
so
right.
We'll get into, she's lived in France, you've lived in London, you've lived in LA, New York,
Yeah.
Baltimore, but Baltimore is home, correct?
Yeah.
Baltimore is always home. So welcome.
Thank you.
We have also, I will note that back in December we did have Mariah's mother Elizabeth in, so you can start off with that episode and then follow it up with this episode.
Right.
Thanks, Davis.
So Mariah,
you can pick what you like best.
Yes.
right. Your voice is angelic.
Yes.
Okay. And so my first, how confident do you have to be to sing like with passion in other languages? Like, how do you get that confident? I mean, I guess it's from upbringing, from your worldly travel, or like, in other words, I just watched you perform 4 songs. 2 were in English, 1 was in French, 1 was in Spanish, and like, you know, you're a performer,
Right.
all in one.
That's a good
Yes.
question. I was going to
So-
ask if the cadence is similar or completely different from English to French to Spanish when you're singing.
I'm sure it is. People tell me that it is. They do. I can't really hear that. That's what people say. I can't hear it. Like I say, it's the words, and I try to interpret them how they feel to me.
Right.
And so English, French, Spanish, ultimately it's the feeling of the song and the emotion behind it that drives my my interest in interpreting certain songs.
It's just, it's clear as day that you're where you're supposed to be as far as an artist, because, you know, like I said, I mean, it takes a lot to get that kind of passion across in multiple languages in the same set, you know, and Marcus tickling the ivories, like, it's good stuff, you know.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start here, if it's cool. So we interviewed your mother, you know, and wonderful woman. And in her tales of her life, it's clear that you probably had a rather interesting childhood, just in general. Yes. So my first question to you is, like, do you recall your childhood being rather normal, or was it, you grew up in France?
Well, I grew up in Baltimore until I was 10.
Okay.
With a brief stint in London. Then we went to France. I don't know whether it was normal. It was what we did. It was my childhood. And I certainly was aware, you know, that all my friends from Baltimore, you know, they stayed in Baltimore, right. Whereas I would go off and come back and we'd get together. And I'm still friends with one gal, and I've been friends with her my entire life. But it's like, you know, she knows that I'm usually off somewhere, but we pick up where we left off, and I've made wonderful friends in the different places I've lived. And in a way that was due to my moving around as a child, going to different schools, being homeschooled, being also artistically inclined. So I had my extracurricular activities of dance and theater class and singing. And
were you were you at 10 when you left here, were you kind of like all in, or were you kind of resentful of the issue, like leaving, or did it just seem like that's what you guys do?
just seemed like that's what we're doing.
That's good.
And then
Yeah.
even
That's good.
moving to France at 10.
Yes, we
And
moved to
then-
France at 10, when I was 10.
And then you started kind of, moving into where you are now, kind of roughly started when you were about 14.
Yeah,
I read that you were discovered and got into modeling.
that's right. Well, I took lessons almost every day for ballet, and I had theater. So I was already in that, studying it. But it's true that when I was discovered on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, things quickly took off.
So you go to Paris, or you go to France. You're 10
France.
years old, and is that you have no? You hadn't taken French at that point. You have no language. Did you understand anything about France at the time? Or, you know what I mean? Like, were you kind of like, what the heck is going on here? Or
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we had a French girl come live with us. And so I knew how to say some things like yes, no, hello.
Okay.
And I don't understand. That was about the extent of my French knowledge. And what had happened was that my parents wanted us to be homeschooled. So they brought a tutor, but she got very sick and could not continue to teach us. So we were thrown into the local school where people had never even met an American.
Right.
Like we were
Right.
totally out there to them. And I did not speak a lick of French, and neither did my siblings. And I remember sitting in the back of the class for like 6 months, not saying anything. And at the end of 6 months, I could speak French.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's wild. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard enough just going to like a new school or something like that as a child, but going to a French school where they're kind of looking at you like, what are you
Yeah.
doing
In
here?
another country, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what
That's wild.
And not even in Paris, where
Right.
they may have seen and met Americans.
Right.
No, this is in the countryside where the only Americans they'd ever seen were on TV.
Right.
And so it was
Wow, that's
amusing
wild.
looking back. You
Right.
know?
Right. Well, it's kind of trial by fire, and it probably helped you lock in quicker than maybe you would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just, could laissez-faire it, right? At the home with your French tutor or something.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We would not have been obligated to
Right.
really
You're
learn the
in
language.
it. You're
yeah.
in. Like there's no escaping. Yeah, that's good stuff. So at that point, you're 10. You're learning French. Are you musical? Like you're rocking the piano and stuff at that
No.
point, or no?
I took piano lessons, and so did all my siblings, but I was sort of like, dragging along. I was not musically inclined that way. I always
right?
liked to sing, and my dad played guitar, so that's how I sang at home with him when he played guitar. And I don't play an instrument to this day.
And had you?
I do not either, just for the record.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but
That's
let me
two
tell
of
you
us.
something. Your vocal, like the way you can sing is,
That's
it's
an instrument.
absolute-
Yes,
true.
that is
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Your voice is an instrument.
Yeah, like
I don't
he
even. I
don't
don't
do
even.
that.
I don't even have that. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
you do play an
Right,
instrument.
yeah, it's phenomenal. But so let me ask you this: so you're in France and you're rocking. You're 10 years old. You have done music at that point. Is modeling or acting, is any of it in your purview at that point? Like, are you trying to become an actor or model at that point, or did
Did you know what you wanted to do when
Yeah,
you were
like
10 in France?
When
What
I
did
was
you think
10.
you were going to do at 10 years old in France?
Well, I was going to be an artist, that I'm sure. I
Okay.
knew. What kind of artist I wasn't totally sure about until I was a little older. Maybe in my early teens, I started going to theater class, and then I wanted to be an actress. And modeling was just by chance.
Right.
That was just me coming home from dance class and somebody thinking that I had some, that I looked like I could be a model. So, but yes, I did want to be an artist. I can remember writing it in my journal when I was little.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So, at what age? So you decided you wanted to be an artist, actress. I mean, all along, and then you went to school in London.
Excuse me, I'm just going to fix my blouse because I noticed that it was a little bit.
I'm
probably
so
get more
trained on,
views.
yeah, that's all
Brian
I
never.
would say, actually, let it ride. We'll go viral.
Brian never looks behind.
We'll get lots of views.
Right. It's so funny. Somebody's watching. Go, why didn't this guy tell her? I don't notice.
Brian
anything.
doesn't know.
Right.
Brian doesn't
It's like right. I'm sorry. About
I'm
this.
all set.
So, you went to school in London for music and dance. And what age?
Well, actually, I went for acting.
Acting
Yeah.
and dance. I think, or
I mean, we did
but
dance
you weren't. You went.
classes.
It was specifically for acting.
It was
So, what
drama.
age was that?
That was I was 18.
Okay, so you were really in France for the 8 years prior
Yes.
to moving to London.
Exactly. Yes. And during those 8 years, I had begun to model professionally. Continued with my ballet classes, continued with my theater classes, dropped out of high school, and
Nice.
decided that I wasn't going to high school anymore.
okay.
Because in France, you could take, it's like, I guess, the equivalent of the GED. At 15, you could pass a test that would allow you to go into the professional world.
Oh, wow.
So I just kind of scraped by, got the lowest grade possible, and said to my parents, who, looking back, I'm like, gosh, they
They
were
really handled that well.
yeah, well, they were very laissez-faire, and I guess I was also very determined that
Right.
that's what I wanted to do. And so after auditioning, I started auditioning. I was in a couple of TV shows. I was working as a model, made some money, and then I decided I wanted to study acting.
That's incredible.
And so, how long were you in London?
I was there for a total of 4 years, but my conservatory was 3 years.
Okay,
So
interesting.
Yeah,
And
right.
that, we'll get into, because we do a movie portion of the show, but you have 35 credits that I saw on IMDb.
Oh, that's
to your
cool.
name.
I never counted them.
Well, that's the number. You have 35
you.
credits. Producer, you've written some things. You've been in the casting role.
Yep.
You've kind of done everything, almost everything other than, I guess, behind the camera itself.
Yeah.
Have you directed anything?
Yes, I directed a music video that I was in for my first album. So yes, I have.
Awesome.
Damn. Yeah, it's like you're a Renaissance gal. So your first passion was acting. Okay, so and then you moved. So you're in London, and you're a theater actress in London.
Yes.
What years are we talking here? Is it?
Let me see. I guess I started the course in 2004. I graduated in 2007. I stayed for another year in London, did a play.
What play?
I did You Can't Take It With Me.
You can't take it with me.
It's a wonderful play by Moss Hart and Kaufman. Somebody Kaufman.
Not Andy.
No.
I can't remember. It's actually playing downtown in Baltimore right now, but I can't.
Charlie Kaufman?
No. It ain't Charlie. It's like Lloyd Kaufman or something.
Okay.
probably.
Yeah, the name escapes me, but it's a wonderful play called You Can't Take It With You, and You Can't Take It With You, not with me. So I was in that, and then I also did a show. I did an episode. No, I did a pilot for a new TV show on BBC, and then I decided I really wanted to go back to the States, and I wanted to go to Los Angeles because I loved film, and that's what I wanted to do. So.
Nice. So at that moment, you're 20 or 19 or what do you?
I
21-ish.
graduated. I'm like 21. Yeah.
Right.
19, 20, 21. Yeah. I'm like 21, 22.
And you just decide that LA is probably better than New York because acting at that time, or well, I guess if you're trying to get into television and film, I guess LA is always better than New York.
Back then, 15, 20 years ago, I would say yes.
Right.
Yeah, it must have changed a
Right.
lot. I don't know. But what happened was that one of my professors, Ken Ray, I'll name him because he really was inspiring. Oh, I just appreciated him so much. He taught improv, and we did a circus class.
Oh wow.
And we did qigong, so we learned how to move our energy around, and he was very cool. And so I was kind of like kicking around London going, gosh, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm kind of out of place. Every time I audition, I have to use an English accent, and like I kind of want to be me, and I feel a little out of place. And he said, I have a former student who lives in LA, and she'd be willing to talk to you. I'm going to give you her number. Give her a call. And so he gave me her number. And so I called her up, and she said, Ken told me about you. I looked you up. I've seen what you've done. You need to go to LA. I can see that is what would suit you. And, she didn't know me from Adam, but in my mind, something clicked, and I was like, yes, that is what I want to do. So that was, I think, February, and I made plans to go in September, and I did.
So at that point, had you ever been to LA or any other city?
No. I had, with my parents, like driving through on our way out to visit the Grand Canyon. Or
because it's notably different probably than, although maybe not. I mean, I don't know. Is LA comparable to the streets of London or Paris or anything?
It's not comparable to anything.
Right, that's what I figured.
It is totally different from every place on earth I have visited up till now.
So you did, going back to London, you did just say something interesting. So you were auditioning as an American, but obviously most of the roles were for an English actress. So you had to audition as an American against English actors and actresses.
Yes.
Well,
but you got some of those roles.
I did.
And
I did. But you can't take it with you as an American. It takes place in New York, I think. And then the other one, yes, I did have to use an English accent, and I am good at accents. But yes, I felt like I was kind of competing against something I couldn't totally.
Right.
Totally.
That's a tough sell.
It's interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing. I never really thought about that. Like, if you're living over there and you're doing, like, do they want you, if they know that you're a gringo, like, do they want you to read in English, or would they, or does the part call for the person to be English, so you have to put the accent on, or you know what I mean? Like, did they always kind of be like, well, you have to be
English
proper
accent
English
required? Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and what's really funny about that, I should tell a story, because I got used to, in London, like just walking in the room, speaking in an English accent, because I thought, I'm not going to give them an opportunity to think that I'm not
That's
English.
A good play. Right.
And so when I moved to LA and I'm auditioning, sometimes I would get like French or Russian or Irish, and I would walk into the room and I would be like a French girl. Well, this one particular time I went to the audition, I got the role, and I laugh now at this, but looking back, I also kind of cringe, because I kept this accent up the entire time I was filming.
You let it ride.
I did.
So they don't even they didn't even know. They're like,
that's great.
Mariah Bonner.
That's
She's from
impressive,
France.
right?
Yeah, but what was really crazy is that later, of course, I run into some of the actors around town, and I'm like, oh,
Right.
Like, what do I do?
yes, hello. Oh God.
Right.
That's amazing. That's impressive,
awesome.
though.
Yeah, that's
where like no one knows where you're from.
Yeah, but you were method. You know what I mean? You were method.
Right.
Fuck them. Don't let
That's my friend
That's
said,
dedication. That's
wow,
wild.
honey, that's balls to the wall.
Yeah, you were Daniel Day-Lewis before Daniel Day-Lewis.
Even at like the after party, you're just like,
Yes.
they're like, this is great.
That's awesome. And I can't imagine. It is wild, though. I myself have been in situations, not like that, but sort of like that, where, later you're like, man, I wonder, they think I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like,
I wonder what they think now
right.
that they've
It's like,
seen me in
I want
other
to talk
stuff.
to them just to see, like, what.
Yeah,
That's awesome,
hilarious.
though. That's good
great.
stuff. That's
cool.
a great story, yeah. So, okay, you're in LA, you're rocking any kind of accents you want wherever. And I wanted to note, sorry, where Dave's
I
still.
play Russian on television one time.
Listen, I saw that, and like,
I had to even speak Russian for that.
and you had like, keep in mind, I'm a nickel bagger. I have not traveled the world or anything, but I've watched a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And that
And TV.
Russian accent was ice. Like
Yeah.
it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. I wanted to read.
So you
off,
just had to you can't speak you just had to learn the lines.
I have a dear friend who is Ukrainian, and she coached me.
Right.
I said,
Nice.
I need your help here. I got to
That's
talk
awesome.
Russian on
Right.
TV
Well, that's
tomorrow.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Woe was mentioning your list of credits. I'm just throwing out a couple names that you've literally been in the same scene with. Sandra Bernhardt, who
yeah.
I got questions. Justin Timberlake, Andrew Garfield, Jesse Eisenberg, and directed by David Fincher. Mm-hmm. Okay, so before we jump, we're in LA. Mm-hmm. Are these gigs from your time in LA?
Yes.
Okay, so what does that look like? You get to LA, you're throwing around French accents, you're getting a couple gigs here and there.
The woman that your professor introduced you to, I mean, she wasn't an agent. Did she set
No.
you up with an agent?
No, what happened was that in this particular English school that I went to, and I don't know if they still do this, but they would have a showcase. And you, as an actor, would write to all the agents that you thought would be a good fit and invite them personally to come and see the show so that you could have an opportunity to find representation while you were still in school.
Okay.
So once you left, you would hit the ground running, doing auditions and hopefully getting work.
Wow, that's a great pipeline.
It was great
Yeah.
practice because you have to do that. Even no matter at a lot of stages of your career, you have to learn to reach out, to ask, to write to people, find them. And so I got an agent
Right.
through this process, and he was an American guy actually. And so thanks to him, he set me up with lots and lots of meetings in LA. I met with big agents, small agents, big managers, small managers. And so that was my first step, was meeting someone who could represent me and send me on auditions.
Right. I feel like you had a little bit of an advantage, I guess, over other students in that school. I mean, were there Americans in that school in London?
There was one other American.
Okay, because I mean, you could just go back to the States. I mean, for some, it's
Right.
not quite
No.
as easy where they're
Yeah,
like,
right.
I
I
can't
guess
just go
that's
to
true.
LA.
No.
Right.
It's an interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So
that is cool.
what's Fincher like?
Oh, he was nice. He was demanding.
I was to say, I you hear all these intense stories about him. I love the films and stuff.
Well, he must be a pretty intense guy. I mean, that one scene that I was in, we did that through the night. I don't know how many times.
Right.
And I just thought, wow, I have one line. I can't imagine being Justin Timberlake and Jesse Eisenberg right now and all their lines.
I don't think we mentioned it. We are talking about The Social Network.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. I'm acting like, you've got 100
Everybody's
and
trying to
some
get.
credits.
They're like, okay, no, this is The Social Network we're talking
Yeah, well,
about.
because David, I'm a cinephile. You may have heard. I'm a little bit nutty with that kind of stuff, and I love Fincher, and he's got a rap. And Downey Jr. and our boy Jake Gyllenhaal have a great story about how they had to do like 65 takes.
Yeah, he's known for that.
And so, but man, his movies are good.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Very.
Yeah, that's good.
It was such a cool experience. I mean, I absolutely loved that. And I liked the rigor. That's one thing I always really liked. I mean, that's probably why I like live performance too, the rigor of like rehearsing and having to show up. And it's very different than some other sets I was on where you're kind of bored and they call you in, you say your line, you leave.
Right.
And,
We've heard about
know.
that. Like his cousin Jason was actually Jet Li's translator when he came to the States, like back around the time of Lethal Weapon 4 in the late 90s. And he was telling us about how some of these sets, like, we're like, oh my God, that's amazing. He's like, yeah, but it's a lot of hurry up and wait. He's like,
Yeah.
trust me. He's like,
Totally.
it was kind of just boring. You're just sitting around. And I mean, not that I experienced it, but when we did the Rosemary Street series when we were me and
Yeah, it's a
Rachel were in the
long
background.
day.
Yeah, we were there at the Auto Bar all day.
Oh.
We were just background, but just watching the whole process was very cool because that's really the first time I've been involved in anything like that, and it's just very, very interesting.
And it's different than you expect, and it is a long day,
Yeah.
I mean, especially. And then keep in mind, you got to, after that's done, you wrap, and then it's like months, right, until you actually see
Anything.
if you're in it, or,
Right,
and
right.
stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
So the other question, Sandra Bernhard, how is she in real life?
I met her. We did a scene together. She was fun. She was nice, very dry.
I figured she is who she appears to be.
Yeah,
like,
I think so. I think she's she's honest to self, true to
Right,
self. Yeah,
right.
I would say so.
the New Yorker.
I can
always
see that. Yeah.
I have a love-hate thing. I love her because of King of Comedy
Right.
and a couple things, but I also can't stand her in like Hudson Hawk and stuff like that. And but she was supposed to be annoying
Right.
in that, so
Yeah, right. She was like like a hit woman or something. What she
I
was.
believe so.
Yeah.
So you're doing movies, you're doing television, and you're doing theater, all in L.A. or no theater really?
I didn't do much theater in LA. I did get involved with Tim Robbins' The Actors Gang.
The actors
Briefly, no, maybe about a year, and that was fantastic. I loved that.
And to
was
be
fun.
clear, that has been around for a while.
Yes.
And
And they're
Jack
still
Black
going.
and Kyle, Tenacious D,
Yeah.
were part of the
Okay.
acting
Yep,
gang.
they
and stuff
were.
like
What's that
yeah.
kind of like?
It's like an actors troupe
Like
in
a
L.A. I want to say they
they're
do
all
plays,
blanking
right?
on like all of
Yeah,
them
they
right
do.
now. Like I'm just blanking on all the ones,
Like
like
the-
the comedy ones.
Yeah,
that
the
they've gone
Groundlings.
Groundlings,
Yeah,
and
what
Second City,
Eugene
and
Levy and John Candy and all them were involved.
SCTV.
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
Second City TV.
Second City,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I did classes at Groundlings for improv.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
nice.
fun.
Yeah, my someone who was really great for me was my commercial agent. So I went on auditions for commercials all the time, and I got maybe 2 in the total of 10 years that I was living there. I did 2 commercials. One was for Audi, one was for Mercedes, and but this fellow Alex Fox, who unfortunately has passed now, but he was so helpful to me because he always was telling me what I could do to improve myself. So you should go take improv classes, go take this class on how to audition for commercials, because that's something I really didn't know how to do.
Right.
And you need to do a photo shoot where I can see that you do yoga, that you do stuff. He was always pushing me to really try to move myself forward. And
Well, and good on you for taking that advice. A lot of people are tone deaf to evolution, and it's like, I feel like if you're open to those kinds of things, that's what separates the wheat from the chaff when it comes to success. And so good on you for listening.
Yeah.
well, I trusted him.
Yeah, right,
I trusted him, and I knew he was interested in me and wanted to help me. And in fact, it's thanks to him that I am in the Social Network, because he was my commercial agent, but he had his ear to the ground for little bits and pieces in bigger films. So he got wind that this was happening, and he said, Mariah, you need to go over there and audition. So I did. It was thanks to him.
Yeah,
That's
I feel like
Because
the
he was
commercial
looking
game
out.
was highly competitive. Probably there's probably hundreds and hundreds of people that auditioned for commercials, not and probably more so than some films. Probably, I would imagine.
Right.
That's pretty
Well,
wild.
it became so, I think it just became so saturated.
Right.
So many people. I remember just a room full of people, and you're all auditioning for the same role
Right.
on some commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, man. I mean, you've got to really just keep your head down and keep grinding, which is why I think like the multi-tool player is important, like the singing, acting, theater or television, like that kind of stuff. It gives you a lot of malleability, if you will.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're rocking out there for a minute, and what made you right now,
Well, are you leaving L.A.?
well, we don't have to.
There was one
Yeah, go ahead.
while you were in L.A. I read that you founded something called the Blue Tiger Salon.
Yes.
So tell me about that. What is that?
So the Blue Tiger Salons was born from my love of theater and plays, and I wanted an outlet for theater because I do love theater, and so I got a group of my friends together and I said, hey guys, once a month we're going to read a play that I'm going to choose and everyone can have a part, and we'll rotate it. We'll do it at my house, then we'll do it at your house, and whoever hosts has to like provide some wine and cheese and snacks for afterwards. So it was like a social thing, and we would read a play and it was fun. And what was born of that was beautiful because one of my girlfriends is a playwright and screenwriter, and she said, gosh, we really should do a play. I want to write a play. And so she wrote a play called Breather, and we produced it together. We cast it, we hired the director, and we presented it at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. And we had packed houses, and it was really a great experience. So from that was born this producing partnership on this one play, but it was a success.
Yeah, I mean, if one thing came out of it, that's a success to me. Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, that had to be gratifying too, because you were just trying to scratch an itch originally with the idea of just meeting and reading the plays,
Exactly.
and then you take it to a whole other level. And yeah, that's good stuff.
is that still a thing?
No.
No.
When I left LA, I didn't keep it going, and my friends didn't keep it going either. They tried, but I was
You were the
I
breath.
was-
But there's still something to show for it.
absolutely, yeah. I was proud of
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And it was nice too because it was hard at times in LA because you would like have very, very busy periods and then periods where there was not much going on and you couldn't do anything about that. But thanks to this fellow Alex Fox, my agent, he was always, in addition to wanting me to get new photos and take classes, he was always pushing me to like create my own stuff. And that was one thing that my professor in London always said too. And Ken Ray, he always said, like, you got to produce your own stuff. Don't wait around for other people to give you the opportunity to do what you love. If you want to produce a play, well, figure out how to do it or write your own. And so that was one of the things I really am proudest of, because I made that happen from my own passion and interest.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
that's really cool.
Yeah, personal projects like that are the best. You know, like it's the most
Right.
gratifying.
It really was.
So you left LA. Did you leave acting when you left LA, or you just kind of scaled back, or?
I didn't leave acting on purpose. It just sort of happened because I was not there anymore.
I got you.
So
When you left, where did you move to?
I went back to Baltimore.
Nice.
And it wasn't going to be a long-term thing. I was just taking a little break.
So what was the idea when you left LA?
Just to have a change of scenery, change of pace, be somewhere different for a little bit, maybe 6 months, I thought. And then I was really planning to go back. And I didn't. And what was interesting about that time too was that for the first time in my life, I was experimenting with not being a performer.
What year are we
Being a
talking?
different type of person, like a person who had a job.
Right.
A normal type of job.
Sure.
This
Ew.
was not at all just
All right.
not being an artist.
No, I understand. I totally understand.
Not necessarily doing what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
that's the thing is you're just not being passionate. you know,
Right.
and
Well,
that's
not
what
being
someone
me
like you
really
need to
was
be,
what it
right.
was. And I was just experimenting with that. And that was in 2017. And what happened next was interesting because I kind of buried that part of me a little bit. But then I did audition for and get accepted into a rockabilly band
Wow.
as a backup singer.
Right.
And I was like, this is fun. I'm not in the front line here. I'm just in the back and I'm learning
Right.
because I've never been a backup singer before. This is kind of fun and the music is different.
So
Well-
were you were you a lifelong rockabilly fan, or you just kind of it came
Not
to you
really.
and you were like, hey,
I just liked
dig
the
it.
music.
Yeah,
I
right.
liked it. And I mean, you know, my dad grew up in the era of Elvis and
Sure.
so I knew it and
Yeah.
I liked it.
Right.
So I'm in this band and we do little gigs around town and I post a video here and there and this lady that my family is friends with, well, you know her, Elizabeth Massing.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
shit!
yes.
Yeah, I love Elizabeth.
Well,
Massing.
I need to say thank you to her
Yeah.
because she said, you know, I'm organizing an event for the employees at Agora, and I think it would be really fun if you would come and sing a few songs.
Right.
And I said, "Ooh, Elizabeth, I am not performing anymore. I'm in the background, but I don't know. I don't know if I feel like I'm up to it." And she said, "Well, how about you think about it?" So I thought, "Oh gosh. Yes, I have to say yes." But I didn't have anybody to accompany me, so I put out a little ad on Craigslist. I tell her, "Yes, I'm going to do it. This is maybe I have 3 weeks or something to prepare.
Right.
Yes, I'm going to do it." Put out a little ad on Craigslist. I'm looking for a pianist to accompany me on this, you know, for 4 songs. And I have charts because also in LA, I didn't mention this, but I did I did one song for a short film I was in.
You're right. Yeah,
And I
did
got
see that.
involved in putting together a cabaret show there. I started that journey on the side from what I did, but I did start that process. So I had charts and I had songs and I knew some stuff. So I find this fellow, this pianist, and he comes down from maybe Owings Mills and we rehearse in my apartment and say, "Great, this is going to work." So we rehearse and the night approaches and get ready, go up there, sing my songs. And I felt like this jolt of energy. I can't even explain it. Like, oh my gosh, I have to do this again. This is me. It's
Right.
my life. I have to do it. And so that was a beautiful moment because I just thought, okay.
You reignited the spark.
Yeah,
You'd
thanks
taken-
to Elizabeth asking me.
Yeah, that's
sing.
great.
Elizabeth
Way to
Massing,
go,
man.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, she always comes in clutch.
Right.
Like, she's so clutch.
So just to rewind for
Yeah.
a minute, I guess, I mean, singing while you were in LA, even while you were in London, were you, other than, I guess, your training, acting, were you singing?
Yes.
Were you gigging in LA?
I wasn't gigging. I was putting on cabaret shows. Yes.
Which is, that's well, we'll
I guess
get
I
into
say
that too.
that-
But cabaret is, I mean, that's
For the
singing,
layman.
storytelling, that can involve comedy. It's
A show, a gig.
it's a
Yeah,
show. Yeah.
Totally.
Like
Well-
audience participation, like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
It's-
learning about what it was, how to do it. Now, what's interesting is, you know, you get these little things in life, like a little voice that talks to you in life. And I had that in London because out of all my classes, my singing class was my favorite.
Okay.
And I had this wonderful teacher, and she encouraged me to do something that I do to this day. And she said, you know, you need to write out the lyrics for your songs so that they come from you. And I still do that.
I like that.
And then we had to perform in front of our whole class a couple of songs. And I just remember that just, there was a little spark inside me in those moments. And then in LA, you know, little, like following the trail.
Right.
You know, I met someone who said, "Oh, come up and sing a song." I don't really know any songs. "Oh, I'm sure you know something." "Oh, actually, I do know something." Sing. "Oh, well, you got a great voice. Hey, I'm going to introduce you to a pianist. You should think about doing something more with your voice." "Oh, hey, have you ever thought of doing a cabaret show?" "No." "Well, you should." And so, you know, just like following
The
a little
rhythm.
trail of breadcrumbs that piqued my interest, and I kind of went with it. So
Yeah, that's great.
That's wonderful.
Cabaret is interesting.
So is that French? Is cabaret originally
Europe, yes. Maybe
Yeah.
Germany, I think,
Okay.
may have been where it originated.
I got you.
And it is an art form that specifically means to tell story through song. And what I like about it, too, is that it's not just about standing up and singing. It's about what's the story behind it? Why am I singing it? And how do I relate to others through these songs?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. With the cabaret show, I mean, it's more of like you're kind of going on a journey, like telling a story. It's not just songs
Gotcha.
that you've written or that have been written. Not that are all over the place, but it kind of has a flow to it
There should be an
and
arc
a purpose.
more than
arc, right.
these are songs
Okay.
I like to sing. It should be, well, recently I did a show called April in Paris, and I put together a selection of songs that I felt embodied that,
Right.
what it means to me. And so that is it. And I tell about the song and why I chose it. And a song that could seem to have nothing to do with April in Paris. Well, there's a reason why I chose it, because it evokes a memory of such and such that took place in France where I grew up. And so
And you tell that during the show.
I
You
do.
talk about it, so there,
yes. So
nobody's
it's real personal
nobody's guess.
stuff.
Right,
It's
it's not.
personal.
It's not get like people are going along.
Right, it's
the
not like
ride.
opera
Yeah.
where you're like, I don't know what the hell they're saying, but
Right.
I can tell it's
Right.
full of passion.
Right,
Yes.
I can
Right,
feel
yes.
that it's
Right.
upsetting.
But
or
sometimes
something,
you have
but
no idea what's
this
happening.
is more clear, type.
Right. They're along for the ride.
Right.
Well, you can really write a script too, and I do. I don't ever follow my script, but at least I know
The structure.
where
or
I'm
something.
going,
Right.
and I know why.
So then
I've
your
chosen.
improv training comes in.
Yes, yes. I always joke. You know what's great about live performance is you got to prepare to improvise.
Right.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
that's
Like I said,
interesting.
it's multi-tool training, and it's
Yeah.
the best. And especially if you're willing to absorb what you don't know. And a lot of artists aren't. They're like, I don't need to do anything different. Or, But you were smart enough to, take advice and stuff like that, and keep a wide tool chest. So
Thank
it
you.
should be said, you currently live in Argentina.
Yes, I do.
And how long have you lived in Argentina?
And what do you do there?
And why? I mean, not
And
that
why?
I
Yeah, well,
like I.
these are all good questions.
You haven't been there.
No.
know.
Although I'm in. I mean, I love Mayan shit. I don't know if that's around there. Like, I love South American, history, if you will. But so what's Argentina? Talk to me.
What's Argentina? Well,
Well, not what's Argentina, but
it's a
like,
country very far from here.
Where it's south.
It's very south of South
Yes.
America.
Right.
Yeah, in South America. It's
Yes.
South America.
Yeah,
It's like the southest
Right.
you can get.
But it's warm.
Now, no, it's going to start getting cold because it's the opposite.
Okay.
Now, instead of going into spring, we've gone into fall down there.
Okay. Interesting. Because
Yes.
it's not far from Antarctica.
I know. How about that? Right.
Like, it's not far.
Right. So,
Interesting.
what led you to Argentina?
My dad and then my husband.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So my dad fell in love with Argentina, northern Argentina, specifically the Calchaquí Valley. And he bought a ranch there over 20 years ago and brought me, my mom, all my siblings to this ranch and to Argentina. We went to Buenos Aires too. And
So wait, did he? So he did the 10-year-old transplant from America to France. He did basically again with Argentina. Right?
yes, except we were
Yeah,
all
they
But
were,
you
you
were
guys
all
were all
grown-ups,
adults.
right.
At this
and they
point,
didn't
right.
live there.
Right.
This was
I
like,
got you. Okay, I
I
got
want
you.
to
Right.
own a cattle ranch in
Right.
Argentina.
That's so fun, right? Okay.
It's beautiful, and
And did
and
you
it's
speak?
huge.
Right.
Did you speak Argentine Spanish?
Spanish. So the other place that I went to with my dad, because we went so many places, was Nicaragua. And I went there when I was 13, and we would go there almost every year for years. And my mom had us do Spanish classes.
She's so smart.
Yeah, she is. One time we spent a month there, and she had us do Spanish classes 2 hours every day.
Nice.
And so I had some knowledge of Spanish. And then, of course, when I moved there 3 years ago, well, I just now I feel that I am trilingual because I really can hold my own.
Yeah,
and
you seem to be able to
Spanish.
hang, like,
Yeah.
And I feel like it's true that English is the hardest language.
I don't know.
But I feel like
People do find
in
it hard.
Spanish and French, are there words that are spelled exactly the same that sound different and mean different things?
Sometimes yes.
Okay.
Sometimes yes. Well, I'm trying to think of an example.
I always heard that German was one of the harder
Really?
languages.
I feel like Mandarin would be. Well, maybe.
Yeah, because of the alphabet being totally different. At least in French and English, you've got the same alphabet.
Yeah, the same letters.
Well, keep in mind, my cousin, like, taught.
He taught English
Oh yeah, right.
in China.
Right.
Or
But he
Japan.
knew, he learned it. So
Yeah,
I don't
he
know,
had
like,
to.
Yeah, it can't. Well, I mean, Jay's smart.
Mm-hmm.
But, So okay, so you get down there. You met your husband in Argentina.
I met him in Baltimore.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so the plot thickens here because between my dad buying that original ranch in Argentina, he then ended up buying another and another.
Who amongst us?
Right. Because I don't know.
No, I know.
He could.
Yeah.
But they're actually working ranches is the thing. And they grow stuff. They raise animals.
Wine?
Yes. Grow grapes.
Okay.
And the wine is made at a neighboring bodega, which
That's
is
awesome.
winery. My husband was a commercial fisherman, loves all things related to the outdoors, agriculture, and he had gone to South America and worked on farms and learned about running farms, and he loved that. And so somebody needed to run these farms, and it couldn't be my dad,
Right.
and none of my brothers were really going to do that. And so he said, Mariah, is it okay if I ask your husband if he wants to go down to Argentina to
That's
run these
wonderful.
farms? And I said, yeah, ask him. And
Because I kind of want to go.
yeah, why not? Why
Right.
not? We could try. We could try that. And so Adrian said, yeah, I want to go. So we went down in June of 2023, and we've been there so almost 3 years. And I do continue to sing and perform because it turns out that life works in strange and mysterious ways, and Salta is a real hub of musicians, singers, poets, artists of all kinds, and there's a lot of love for music there. And so I've been lucky enough to be able to get together with some great musicians, and so I kind of continue doing what I'm doing here down there.
Right.
And,
That's great.
And let me ask you something. Like, so what's the vibe down there? Like, is it like an American city type thing, or like
No.
or is it like Calcutta or something?
No,
like
not that either.
Okay.
Well, Buenos Aires, for instance, is like Paris. It is a beautiful
Okay.
city. It is very mostly clean, and you can find anything you want. But Salta's in the north. Salta is a smaller city. It's pretty big. I looked it up once and I saw that it's like the same amount of people in Baltimore, except everyone lives in the center, whereas in Baltimore, people are
Everybody's
spread
spread out.
around the
Right.
county. So it's more dense. And it is, no, it's not like an American city. I mean, it is dirty. It's kind of disorganized. You'll walk down the street and there's like a cable hanging, an electrical wire hanging.
Right.
There's dogs on the loose. There's people driving crazy. Good luck being a pedestrian there. They will not stop for you.
Right.
You got to wait your turn. The pedestrians do not
Right.
have
I mean, are there
any
speed
privileges.
limits and highways and?
Yeah, but-
is it mountainous?
And it is mountainous.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And Salta City is lovely. It really is. It's got beautiful mountains surrounding it, and in springtime all the flowers are blooming, and it's got really nice temperate weather.
And what about like the industry? Like, is there like good does capitalism reign supreme there? Is there like Targets and stuff, like
No.
Walmarts and stuff, or is it just like
I mean, they're known for wine. I know that. I mean, that's one of their, I guess, exports.
gotcha?
Yes,
Gotcha.
that's true.
Yeah.
Argentina is not fully a third world country. I would say it's like a second world country.
Okay, that's what I'm asking, right.
But agriculture is huge
Right.
in Argentina. A lot of the husbands of my friends and Adrian's friends, they work out on farms,
So
just
it's like
Adrian.
vistas of...
Yes, and there's lots and lots of agriculture, cattle ranching. There are dairies. So I guess, and they make wine, but it's not like, it's not convenient the way it is in the States in
Right.
terms of buying things. It's very expensive now too, and it's just very different. I bring
Yeah.
a lot with me when I come from the States, because if you want to buy clothes or household stuff or anything, like, prices are exorbitant and the quality is not really there. So
Right.
anyone who can afford to leave usually does the same thing.
Right.
Right.
So how do you do you have dual citizenship, or do
No.
you're
I'm a
U.S. U.S.
citizen.
citizen? So
Yeah.
do you live in? Do they have the same thing, like a green card for Argentina, or
Well, I have a residency.
You have a residency.
I have a residency, and it's year to year. You have to renew it every year.
okay?
Up until I don't know exactly when, but then I can apply for permanent residency, which is maybe renewable every 5 years, and then I can apply for citizenship if I want to.
Right.
So yeah, we go through that every year, and that's how it is. You have to.
So is there a
Go
lot
through
of
the motions.
tourism?
Yes, there is
So
a lot.
they're pretty cool. They're cool with Americans for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, seem to be.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
most
that's what I was
part.
gonna
I've not ever had any problems
Okay.
because
I
of
was
being
wondering
an
if-
I mean,
like-
do you? I mean, yeah. Like, do you? I guess. I mean, is it safe? I don't know. I have no idea.
Argentina is safe.
Okay.
I mean, I Buenos Aires people will tell you, oh, there's neighborhoods that are unsafe, and
Sure.
which there would be in any big
Every
city.
Right.
city.
In any
But-
country in the world. Right.
Right. And people will say, oh, Buenos Aires has gotten dangerous. I don't see that personally because, well, I don't, but I probably don't go to the places where I would.
Right.
Salta is very safe. I don't know. There must be some crime happening, but I've never felt unsafe walking
Right.
around there. And not as an American.
Right. And I feel like it's very generational there, probably.
How do you mean?
Like, I guess
Like the
the
farms and
people that
stuff?
live there. Yeah, I guess the farms, the businesses, I guess, like that are just. I guess they've been there.
Yeah. Well, it is true that you will find a lot of the people that we know, for instance, their grandparents grew up there, their parents grew up there, they grew up there, they stayed there, they may have gone to study in Buenos Aires or in
Right.
Cordoba, or
Right.
they traveled to the U.S. for work at one point, but they came back.
Right. Right.
And their whole family lives there too.
yeah, I guess that's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That you'll definitely see that in a way that you wouldn't see here because people are so much more mobile. They're not so much. They tend to kind of stay.
So where
Especially Salta.
where is the tourism spots?
Well, northern Argentina is very touristy because of the wine that they make, but it's only a small portion of the
Right.
wine that they make in the whole country. It would be Mendoza, really.
Right.
Mendoza is where the majority of Argentine wine comes from. And then in the south, like Bariloche, Ushuaia, lots of tourism down there. And of course, Buenos Aires.
And you said weather-wise, it's kind of like, is it here kind of? Just
Well, it's
in
opposite.
different...
Well, it's opposite, but it is. It would be similar because I guess not the way it was this winter, but it often won't snow. Like it just doesn't get that cold.
Gotcha.
But it does get very, very hot. Oof.
Really?
And it's
Yes.
moist.
Yes, it's moist.
Yeah.
It's a humid. And in the winter, which is really their summer, you have a lot of rainstorms, which is nice though, because it gets so hot and it kind of cools things down.
It's like Florida. It rains every day at like 3
Right.
o'clock in Florida because it's so damn humid.
Yes.
Something's got to give. you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you traveled around South America?
No.
Not really.
I've been to Peru, Nicaragua, which would not really be South America. I've been to, no, I haven't. Oh, I've been to Chile and I went to Bolivia. That's about it.
Okay.
Well, that's a lot.
Well, I mean, no, there's a lot of countries.
Well, no, yeah,
in
but I mean,
South
that's
America.
that's a hell of a run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like.
Well, Chile's right next door, right?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. So we crossed the border because we had to stamp our passports one time. So that's the only thing I know of Chile. But it was such an amazing trip because we saw these landscapes, these vistas that were amazing when you're driving by car from northern Argentina to Chile, and it's like you feel like you might be on the moon.
Wow.
Right.
So amazing.
Interesting.
So this is a little bit not on topic, but you had mentioned, do you do yoga?
Yeah, I do.
How long have you been in that game?
Since maybe I was 18 or 19 in London, I discovered Bikram yoga, and I really, really liked that.
What is that? Like, what? Give me a little.
Like you go into a room and it's hot. It's
Hot
really
yoga.
hot
yoga.
yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you follow the same sequence every time.
So do you do hot yoga?
No. Now I can't
I was
stand
gonna
it.
say.
And I don't ever want to do it again.
right.
Because
But I used to be addicted to it. I loved it.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's like doing yoga, working out in a sauna.
well,
Yeah.
it's just ignorant. I mean, I have not done hot yoga,
Right.
but
Have you done yoga?
Well, I've dabbled.
Basic.
I'm fascinated with spiritualism in general, and yoga. The original yogi was Shiva, in Hinduism, and so I have dabbled in yoga, but I know that hot yoga, you got to be dedicated. Like it's
Yeah.
unpleasant,
It is.
So
I don't
did
do
you-
that anymore. I do regular.
So did you kind of come to yoga just by stretching and stuff, or was it more of like for a spiritual vibe, or?
No, it was just because I had heard about it and it seemed cool and people liked it a lot. And there was a studio pretty near where I lived. I could bicycle there, and I just loved how it made me feel.
I got you.
And so I don't know who even told me about it. I must have heard about it somehow.
Right. Yeah, well, that's interesting. I've always wanted to like go deep into the yoga world, but I just don't have the time.
No, the thing is you have to have time. Now I take an hour class.
Yeah, because
And
it's hard.
Well, you have to be patient when you start
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. It's like
because you are
can't-
not flexible,
I'm
and some of it hurts.
some would say I'm not flexible, but that can be worked on. You know what I mean? But I've always wanted to, I just don't have the time. But good on you, because I'm sure it's a wonderful.
Need an hour. Just an
Yeah,
hour.
but you
Just an
gotta.
hour.
Yeah, but you gotta work on technique. Like it's.
Yeah, for yoga, like it's not like going to the gym and working with a trainer.
Right.
It's
Right.
a different thing. No,
It takes a bit of
appreciate that.
time to kind of
Yeah.
be able
Yes.
to build up the posing and stuff, and plus
And
I look like a
it-
jackass.
And so I mean, I have done it. The thing about yoga is it never stops. Like once you start moving into positions, you think there's like kind of like a rest, and I guess there kind of is, but you don't. You're just moving into the next position. Like
Right.
you never it's a flow. You just never stop.
Well, there's a bunch of
moving.
different styles
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So it's like I don't,
Yes. So many different styles.
yeah, it's wild. Well, Miss, do you have anything else, or are you?
If I do, I can come back to it.
Okay.
But yeah,
So, Miss Mariah, we like to, when we're winding down, we like to talk about movies or television. Do you, if you went to jail for the rest of your life?
no, we're not doing that anymore.
I'm gonna do it because
Why not?
It's
Oh, okay,
yeah,
all right.
it's. I feel like it's.
No, I think we were doing the different
we
scenario.
were doing the island, but I feel like for well, yeah, we'll do the island. Okay, say you're going to Argentina, the plane goes down, right? Everybody on board is killed except for you, and you're on an island, and you have 3 movies or TV shows for the rest of your life. What are they going to be? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
The stakes are high.
Yeah, your mother's number one was interesting. Nobody else has said it either.
Yeah.
What was it?
Moonstruck.
And
I have to
I
put
love
that one on my
Moonstruck.
list. Yes, I'm going to steal from the best from my mom. Yes, Moonstruck. It would not be a TV series because I love movies.
Good.
And
Love that.
So it would be Moonstruck. Yes. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, when she said it, I was like, oh my gosh. Norman Jewison, Nicolas Cage, Danny Aiello. Love it.
Oh my gosh. And then I have to put a musical on there that just really had a lot of rocked my world, called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Yeah, that's an old Brat Pack movie, no? Or no?
No.
No.
Who's the guy in it? Oh goodness, he's a big, tall, burly guy. Oh, I
Yul
don't.
Brynner?
No, it's not him. But Seven Brides for Seven Brothers really was
Damn, I don't think I know
was
that
one of my favorite films, and to this day it still is. Great music, great acting. Who's the guy in it?
Howard Keel,
Oh.
Jane Powell,
Oh, Jane Powell.
Russ
yes.
Tamblyn.
Oh.
Show me the poster for it. You got it right there?
I have my glasses.
You're such a... this
Usually I
guy.
forget.
I mean...
The movie poster?
Yeah.
Julie Newmar.
Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
The poster.
And so do you just like it because of the music or
Yes.
because of the story?
Yes.
Okay, that's old school. I
Oh,
got
it's
you.
such a good film.
Yeah,
know,
I'm going to have to watch it. I've never seen
I
it.
like it because of the music. I like it because of the story. I liked the romance of it, you know, that these seven sisters get together with these seven brothers and seven brides for seven brothers. Maybe they're not sisters, but it's the brothers and they're all friends, I guess.
right.
I don't know, but I liked it, and it, you know, there was an avalanche in it, and so they all kind of get snowed in, and I just, you know, I found it very heartwarming.
It spoke to you.
It did.
Yeah,
it
that's
spoke
good.
to me.
So on an island, you know, you would want that. I mean,
Yeah.
You watch that over and over.
Yeah, and then I have to mention a film which really was my turning point. It was the moment where I said to myself, yes, I would like to be an actress. And it is Vivian Leigh in a kind of a sad and depressing movie, but it's a great film, Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh, yeah. One of the greats.
That is what I wrote my paper, because I hadn't finished high school. When I wanted to go to this school, they accepted me, but they said, you know, we usually require some form of high school graduation. How about you write us a paper and tell us about the turning point at which you decided that you wanted to pursue acting and wanted to go and train at a school. So that's what I chose.
Wow.
Vivian Leigh and Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's good. So, hey, this has just jumped in my head. I have not seen the Universal Soldier that you were in.
The Day of Reckoning.
Were you in a
Day of
scene
Reckoning.
with John or Dolph?
Yes, with both.
How? Okay.
Wait a minute. Are they in all of them?
They're in that one.
They're in that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're in all of
They're
them.
not in all
But
of
they're
them.
in, but they're in that one.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was
John,
like
Claude,
so,
Dolph,
you see that look on his
and
eyes?
Scott Adkins.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to ask you about. So, like, were you like? Are they? How were they? How were they? Were they nice guys or?
Yeah, Dolph was kind of an impressive guy. Just always very nice. I didn't actually do that much with him, but Scott Adkins, really sweet. We did so many scenes together, and we had to do all kinds of stunts and stuff, and he was lovely. And Jean-Claude, he
Go
I
easy
think
on
was
Rodin.
coming out of he was coming back
Right,
into
right.
the industry after
Okay.
his break.
Right.
Yeah.
And was maybe still working out some things.
Right.
So I would say he was very friendly, and I was maybe a little uncomfortable at some point with his friendliness. But, you know, ultimately, he was somebody that I was like, wow. Even meeting Justin Timberlake, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, wow. Even though I admire him greatly. But Jean-Claude Van Damme, yes, because I will tell you, going back to France, when we moved to France, rural France, there was a creperie, like a pancake house in the
Creperie.
town.
I
And they would
love
make
that.
crepes.
Right.
And they had salty ones and sweet ones. And on their menu, the whole menu was, all the crepes were named after famous people. There was a gala, you know, for the wife of Picasso, right? Picasso's wife. There was a Vanessa Paradis. They're all famous, famous French and European actors. But then there was a Bruce Willis, there was a Tom Cruise, and there was a Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's so
and
funny.
it had like eggs and bacon and potatoes. And so I just always remember like, wow, this guy got a crepe
He
named
said he's
after
a
him.
crepe. For
I mean, you
So
got
I told him that. I said,
Really?
Jean-Claude, I have to tell you that before I even saw any of your films, I knew who you were because there's a crepe on the menu named after you in the small town that I grew up in France.
Did he know that?
No, he didn't know it. He was tickled though.
Yeah, good.
He thought it was
good.
very funny.
Well, you know, they say Dolph Lundgren is like a brilliant guy. Like
Yes.
he's got he's like a scholar of some sort.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I never got that from Rocky
Yeah.
IV or
I mean,
Showdown
meeting him
in Little
after,
Tokyo.
if that's the only thing you know from him, it'd be terrifying to meet him.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Rocky IV is the only thing you know
Right,
about Dolph
right.
Lundgren.
But
But then he did
apparently-
The Punisher. The Punisher was great.
I love the Punisher. But again, the rap on him is that he is actually a brilliant dude. You know, very smart guy. Yeah.
Yes,
Well, I didn't
my
want
dad actually told me about that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Meeting him and doing this, he was like, "Wow, you know, this guy is kind of brilliant.
Yeah,
he's big too. Like he's really tall.
He's a really big guy that I can attest
Jean-Claude
to.
is not.
He is not.
Right.
He is a small.
And you
smaller
did get. I
fellow.
mean, I'm assuming you got to see him do that split.
Did he do the split? I don't think he did.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not. It's 2000 something.
No, I mean
he's
he could
probably
still.
older.
I mean,
well-
he did that. He did the trucks. I mean,
Yeah,
he
the Volvo
he was
ad.
Quite old. What I mean, not
Oh,
old,
right.
but
yeah, that's right.
he did that. And that was
I
real.
forgot about
that was insane. I'm sure. I mean, maybe he just didn't need to escape by doing the splits in this movie, but.
I really don't remember.
Right.
I do remember watching some of their stunt fight scenes with
Right.
Scott and Dolph and Jean-Claude, but I don't remember the splits.
Well,
Maybe
that's
they
so
did.
exciting.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
that's
that's
cool.
why
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad I remembered that because I looked.
No,
that
I was going to
up.
bring it up. Like I wouldn't have. We weren't going to get through it without mentioning
Right,
Dave.
right.
Yeah, it was a great experience. So much fun. On
Yeah,
that
and it's
film.
got to be wild shooting an action film like that. I mean, like you said. I mean, that's got to be more demanding, right?
I
mean,
loved it. Yeah,
yeah.
it's demanding, but I loved it. I'm quite athletic, and I really, again, the rigor. I liked the rigor of like having to do some. I didn't do. I had a stunt person, but I had to run, and I had to throw a punch, and I had
Nice.
to work with these, crouch behind a couch while the fight scene was going on and then take off running. Yeah, I liked all of that. I really enjoyed it. I thought, wow, if I went back to it, I'd love to be in another action movie.
That's fun. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great credit, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, and once again, you're a multi-tool player. You rock the action world. You do musicals, live theater, cabaret, TV. Take your pick. So it's wonderful stuff.
Thank you.
Do you guys now? Are you involved with the Unite Mount Vernon or no?
I'm not.
You just
but
played that
Are
night.
you-
Yeah,
I
because we
played-
saw you that night, and I was
know.
The
Oh,
holiday.
It was
Yeah,
wonderful.
Are you're part of Baltimore Center Stage? Or you
I
used
was,
to be?
but no more.
Okay.
No, now, however, I did just, I did a concert last night and I invited Clayton Bryant to be a guest artist. And we did a duet together. And it was so fantastic. And so we have decided that we're going to do a Christmas show together. And hopefully we'll do it at the church. We're in talks to get a date on the books. So
That's
stay tuned
wonderful.
for that.
And
Yes.
he was the gentleman that rocked with you that
Yes,
last time. Yeah,
yes.
phenomenal.
Oh,
phenomenal.
You should have
player.
him on the show.
I want to.
Yeah.
Because he's in Baltimore
He's
now.
in
Yeah,
Baltimore
he
now.
moved
Yeah.
from Baltimore. Yeah, we
He
would
moved
love
from
to
New
have
York
him.
down
From
to
New
Baltimore.
York to
yeah.
Baltimore,
Yep.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you have anything you want to plug, Miss?
Yeah, because
Mariah?
you have albums, you have CDs, you
I
have
do.
a website.
Well, I do, yes. Well, I guess, I'll be back again in December. Maybe I'll come back a bit before, like in the fall, but I haven't decided. But in December, I'm going to be doing several Christmas shows, which I do every year. And I love keeping that tradition going. And so anyone who is interested in following me and getting on my list can visit my website, www.themariahbonner.com, to get on my list and find out about where I'll be performing in the world, really. And I did just record an Argentine ballad, which is a Christmas ballad, and I'll be releasing that. And I recorded that with some local musicians who played with me as well last night. And I'm just excited to keep putting great music out there and keep performing. And I feel very grateful that I get to do it. And I thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, this was great. But there is one more thing that we did not mention as far as your writing.
Oh.
You have a Substack, which is Mariah's Journal, which is just about your travels, your music, living abroad.
In Argentina, yeah.
So that's another thing you could follow and just read about.
Absolutely.
Like all the stories lately have been about being home in Baltimore and Easter and your family farm. And I've been keeping up as much as I can.
Nice.
Thank you.
I am on the list.
Thank you. Yes, well, I do write too, and I love that outlet. I get to stay in touch with people, and I kind of, it's like it is a journal. It's called Mariah's Journals. It is on Substack, so you can follow me there too.
And she is a worldly person, so they're very interesting. It's one of those things.
Thank you.
I mean, what can you do? All right, so this has been wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you in. And for those who are thinking about the Christmas show, we saw Miss Mariah and Mr. Clayton do a Christmas special last year, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Thank you.
So,
and we say it is what 8 months away, which is going to be here before you know it.
It will.
Like all of a sudden,
Time
we're going to be sitting in the church watching this Christmas show.
And we really appreciate you.
Yeah.
I do.
Thank
and
you
I
so
love a
much.
true artist, and you can tell, that you are who you say you are, and
Thank you.
it's wonderful. It's refreshing in a chaotic world.
Yeah.
We need people like you. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and the songs, the stick around for
beautiful.
the performance.
Yeah,
because it's wonderful.
And they cap it off with a Leonard Cohen classic,
Yes.
and Wo and I, we love Leonard.
Well, I know that. And one thing I should say, there's a very special person who came in with me today to accompany me on the songs that you will hear. And I owe him a big thank you, because when I came back and I was, I'd worked with this pianist I found on Craigslist.
This is
And then-
Marcus Dagan,
Yes,
who
this
has
is-
been on the show.
Yep.
Yeah, Marcus Dagan has been on the show, and we were introduced through a neighbor in Mount Vernon when I had gotten this jolt of energy and realized I need to go with this. I need to follow it. How do I do this more all the time? And I happened to be talking to a neighbor, and he said, I know somebody you need to call. Well, he gave me his number. I called him up. I left a message, and he called me back and left a message.
Nice.
He left me a message in his voice, and I thought, what a beautiful voice. I wonder if he sings too. Well, we met for coffee a couple days later. Turns out he sings, and we have had a beautiful partnership. We've recorded albums. We've performed in Baltimore, New York, Los Angeles, San Diego, and so
Yeah, I mean,
Marcus
you guys have
Dagan.
been performing almost a decade together now.
that's right. Yeah, it goes by.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is,
And that tone, his voice is just,
Yeah.
it's like Leonard, it's
Yeah.
a little Cohen.
It is.
I love it.
Yeah.
But it's great. You guys are a great match, and I appreciate you're in the world. And
Thank you.
make sure you tell your mother that we said, what's up?
Tell all the Argentinians about Sanity Lounge.
Yes.
Get it
Thank
going
you.
down there.
Well, you can count on me. I will
Yeah.
blast this
if we,
out
if we
all
get
over the
huge
place.
in Argentine,
Yeah.
we'll do a concert.
You know,
down
you
there or
never
something
know.
like that.
Yeah.
No man's a prophet in his
Right.
own
I'm
land.
serious.
I'll have to go
I'm
look at our
serious.
analytics and see if we
Well,
have
it's
any
weird.
Argentinian
Don't we know
fans.
somebody? One of our bands, Markowitz's husband. Aren't they huge in
Splitsville?
Argentina?
I don't know.
swear, I think
I feel like
Splitsville-
it might be like Hungary or something.
No, I'm telling
Is it
you.
Argentina?
I think Splitsville, like is big in Argentina for some reason.
We'll get
We'll have to
clarification.
clarify that, but we might have a concert, a Sanity Lounge concert in Argentina.
That's why you can never give up. You just never know where you're going to find your pocket.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We'll be at the
great.
Grape Ranch in
Right.
Argentina doing a live broadcast.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be cool. Would you fly down there?
Well, I would, assuming
You would?
I could get
No,
through.
you don't like flying.
I have a good idea.
don't want-
Next time when I come back on your show, assuming you'll have me, of course,
Please,
I'll bring a bottle of wine from
perfect.
Argentina,
Oh, wow.
and we can have wine and a chat.
Well, so I don't drink anymore, but I'm not against it. I love
I will
watching
have the
him
wine
drink.
and the
Oh, okay.
But
I
Brian
love
Brian
watching-
will sit.
Yeah, I'll smoke grass. We'll be
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay. To each man his thing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Well,
Awesome.
look,
Thank
I
you, Brian.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Roll. Stay sane, Baltimore.
Awesome.
Hey, thank you guys. This is a song that I recorded with Marcus Dagan here for my very first album. It's called The Nearness of You. It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams came true. I need no soft lights to enchant me if you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams came true. I need no soft lights to enchant me if you only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. I want to feel in the night the nearness of you. Well, I spent a lot of my childhood and young adult years in France, so I speak French. Si, oui. And one of the first songs that I actually started learning when I got started in this cabaret journey, was Hymne à l'amour, which is Ode to Love. It was written by Edith Piaf, and she wrote it following the death of her lover, Marcel Cerdan. He was a boxer, and he was married, and he lived in the south of France, and she lived in Paris, and they would go back and forth visiting each other whenever they could. And on one of his flights to visit her, he was killed in a crash, and she felt so guilty, and she felt heartbroken. But she wrote this song about how she believed that their love was true and that they would be reunited for eternity in heaven.
Le ciel bleu sur nous peut s'écrouler et la terre peut bien s'effondrer. Peu m'importe si tu m'aimes, je me fous du monde entier. Tant que l'amour inondera mes matins, que mon corps frémira sous tes mains. Peu m'importe si tu m'aimes, mon amour, puisque tu m'aimes. J'irai jusqu'au bout du monde, je me ferai teindre en blonde si tu me le demandais. J'irai décrocher la lune, j'irai voler la fortune si tu me le demandais. Je renierai mes amis, je renierai ma patrie si tu me le demandais. On peut bien rire de moi, je ferai n'importe quoi si tu me le demandais. Si un jour la vie t'arrache à moi, que tu meurs, que tu sois loin de moi, peu m'importe si tu m'aimes, car moi je mourrais aussi. Nous aurons pour nous l'éternité dans le bleu de toute l'immensité, dans le ciel, plus de problèmes. Dieu réunit ceux qui
This song was written by a 13-year-old girl. It's called Bésame Mucho, which means kiss me a lot. Now, if I were her mother, I might be wondering what she's been doing up in her room. Kiss me a lot, as if it's the last night. Kiss me a lot. I'm so afraid to lose you. I want to hold you close. I want to look into your eyes. Well.
See you, Jose. Uncle John.
So, this is Bésame Mucho.
Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después.
This next song, our closing song, is one we'll do together as a duet. It's a Leonard Cohen tune, and you'll probably know it. And we also recorded this song, as a matter of fact, for my very first album ever called At Last. And, Marcus kind of introduced me to Leonard Cohen. I mean, I was aware of him because of Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley, but I didn't really know his work. Well, this is one you will know, one of his most famous tunes.
Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch, come be my homeward dove, and dance me to the end of love.
Dance me to the end of love. Let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me see you moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know the limits of, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love.
Dance me to the wedding, come dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly, dance me very long. We're both of us beneath our love, yet both of us above. Come
Dance me to the end of love.
Yes, dance me to the end of love.
Dance me to our children who are asking to be born. Dance me through these curtains that our kisses have outworn. Raise a tent of shelter now, though every thread is torn. Oh, dance me to the end of love. Oh, dance me to the end of love.
And I loved you when you opened like a lily to the heat. I'm just another snowman, and I'm standing here in the rain and sleet. And I loved you with my frozen love and this second-hand physique. With all I am and all I was, 1,000 kisses deep. And I love you, 1,000 kisses deep.
Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Touch me with your naked hand, touch me with your glove. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love.
La 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 la.
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 Oh,
Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love.
Thanks for listening, Baltimore. You can find us at www.sanitylounge.com or on Instagram at sanity.lounge.
Keep listening and subscribe.
Stay sane, Baltimore.